council suggested limiting access to the deposit return scheme to people with registered domestic waste collection contracts in an effort to reduce opportunistic bin scavenging. Is this a good idea?
This is very much not a good idea. It's a bit of a daft, mad idea. And I think, in fairness, like the journalist who found this got it through a Freedom of Information request. I don't think it would have gone any further than an internal briefing memo where I suspect someone was just trying to come up with any ideas whatsoever to combat this. Because we do see it as an issue, but it just obviously wouldn't work. Like, a lot of people in apartments wouldn't have a separate waste contract. It would just be all done collectively. A tourist wouldn't have a waste contract in Dublin. If for some reason you wanted to beat this system, which will never happen, you could very easily just photocopy a receipt from Greyhound. You know, it seems like a very... It's not an idea that I think anyone's going to take seriously. I suspect it's probably someone coming up with as many ideas as possible, but this will not see the light of day. Okay,
but there was a reason for coming up with the idea, which is, as you've said, you see it every day.
Absolutely, you do see. And in fairness, there are some people who you see scavenging for stuff in bins, and they do it kind of reasonably tidily, I would have thought. It's a tragic thing to see in some ways, that people are driven to that. But then there are also issues, particularly I think late at night or early in the morning, where whole bins are being kind of ripped out and the litter is there. Now, that's frustrating because the deposit return scheme has, like, visibly and measurably reduced litter from bottles and cans all across the country, particularly in the city. Parts of the north inner city, which were like litter black spots and always at the top of the table, have seen huge reductions. But it's frustrating that one of the consequences of it is this thing.
Yeah, it is a consequence. It's an unforeseen consequence, but should it have been foreseen, maybe?
I think we always knew from... Like, deposit return schemes have been around for a long time in a lot of other countries. Some countries do it for glass. I used to live in Belgium. That was an issue there. I think it's in some ways you just have to try and see what kind of measures can work. One of the things they've tried was putting a ring around some of the bins so people could leave them in. That has apparently worked in other countries. There's other councils looking to try it. It hasn't worked in a lot of parts of Dublin. People are just leaving coffee cups and random stuff in there. So, like, there's an element of, like, we know these schemes work hugely. We know this scheme has worked. Recycling rates have gone up from under half to nearly 90%. We know that the amount of litter of cans and bottles has fallen by about half. So we know it works. We knew it worked in other countries, but there's always going to be local teething issues, and this, unfortunately, is one of them.